With our culture now, it's just kind of like fast paced. You get hungry, so you go somewhere and buy food, and you don't even have to think of where it came from, how it was produced, what went into it, what it took to make it. People just completely disassociated from their food production. You need to be thoughtful of all the food you're eating, and we just don't do that in our culture anymore. We look at soil as a living organism. We try to feed it life. Each double handful of healthy soil has over 7 billion living organisms in it that you can't see, and it's there. We have a pretty mild climate here. Everything's mild here. We get those summer droughts, so that's why working on and building our soil is significant, so that we can withstand those droughts better, keep the grass growing all year. But yeah, we have it really good on Whidbey. So basically we have a bunch of employees here, 4-legged lawnmowers, and they manage this grass for us and make the fields better for us. And then in return we get the highest quality beef imaginable on the table. It's not the cow, it's the how.
Regenerative agriculture is really a philosophy about farming that focuses on restoring soil health, protecting water and other natural resources, enhancing the life of the farmer, and then lastly, helping to grow food that's nutritious and accessible to all communities.
What these girls do is they follow the cows and they sanitize the pastures. So you can find a bunch of examples in nature where birds follow the herbivores, clean up either them or behind them. And so at the right amount of time behind the cows, the chickens will tear through all their pies, spread the manure out more evenly, and then they eat all the fly larvae and keep the pest population down. That way we don't have to use powders or anything to keep the flies off the cows in the summer. And then we get the world's best eggs in return. When Christina and I first started hanging out, I think we clicked so well because we both had that like-minded approach to health.
So I met Cory in 2014, and he was not a farmer. We were both kind of in an area of our lives where I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do. I had started getting into holistic health, and here he was just reading about how good regenerative agriculture was, and he had this opportunity to continue the farming legacy that his grandpa started.
I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I was already, 25 or something. I read my first Joel Salatin book, Folks, This Ain't Normal. Once I read Joel's book and heard about how he was farming and how everything was different than conventional, it just made sense to me. And that I don't know how to describe it, it just hit my soul, and that's when I knew what I wanted to do. Whoa, I'm pretty sure that's my grandpa. My grandpa came to Whidbey Island around 1950 from the Netherlands with his wife and a backpack. Within 10 or 15 years, he owned the farm, and he was slowly incorporating dairy cows. They became incorporated with Dairy Gold, and they had their ups and downs. My grandpa died in '93, I believe. My dad and uncle took over after that, and they just got tired of it. They sold out while they were still ahead. They continued to raise some beef cows, That's when we started bringing Wagyu genetics to the farm. Yeah, I mean, even though they were a conventional operation, we still had it pretty good growing up here. We just got to run around and be part of the land. Once we're old enough, we all got four-wheelers and go-karts and just mobbed around together. Had a pretty good upbringing. The sheep, yeah, one. My dad said early on, don't be a farmer, because he didn't like his job. He grew to hate it. So my dad helps with the beef, daily moves, the setups. He has been around cows his whole life, so he knows. It's called cow sense. He's got cow sense. Hey, piggies. They're definitely less regenerative than any herbivores because they are tilling, which does kind of deplete your organic material. But at the same time, we're also putting a ton of organic material on the ground with them. You can definitely use them to your advantage if you're rototilling a garden or some sort of crop setup. The sheep, I pretty much view them in a similar manner as the beef. The two work together very well, and sheep are a little more picky. When you run them together, you get a nice even mow. That way, no plant species has an advantage over another because they're all getting mowed back at the same time. Everything's a challenge on the farm. Pretty much expect the worst and then hope for the best. That way, if something goes wrong, you don't get mad and you just figure out how to fix it.
He was really dedicated about putting all his energy into the farm. The farm was first. And then I got pregnant, so now we have a family. And then we had more kids and more kids.
That was the hardest part, is converting to that lifestyle of not getting away, always having stuff to do. That takes a toll on being a dad. I think we've learned to be tough, to let things roll off our shoulders. We've learned how to handle it. It's not to say we haven't had our ups and downs, but I feel that things are moving in a good direction. It's sad, very sad. I haven't felt sad like that for a long time when I heard the news. I think this place would be better off left in the family to continue on the family legacy, to honor my grandpa who did all this for us. I'm staying positive as much as I can and hoping that we can continue to live here long term and continue doing what we're doing. The fields we manage with the cattle, I know it like the back of my hand. I know how much rain it's going to take to make each spot on the field get soft. I'm finally getting dialed in with running the herd across the land and making everything better as we go. So I would love to continue to have that opportunity.